resource kakra by Yasem Kito. Ha Yansha a year Champions League. A year CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
Pyramids name and Lady Sanders. 3-2 on aggregate. First when a 1-1. Sundowns they conceded last minute goal and then no any deal munya. I watched the game and Charlie. Yes, so now Sundowns up to now want to win the Champions League. Though much Super Cup and want to win the Champions League no. Ali ne I think the Egyptian teams in a disturb you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I think so. Ushe Pyramids from performance into this season's CAF Champions League or my bomb more day. So me compare them to a team like Paris Saint-Germain. Saying Paris Saint-Germain, they were known like unknown team. And no matter the football about making things and planning on what you want to do. It's a way we're doing so better to nyama ye. Sikasem players who coach obedi we nimene nyama betimi aboa and they have been able to win their first CAF Champions League. But I think Africa Champions League, no, I was having one problem with it. I think that two-legged final, no, eso mushe no mutimi be found. Because I think in football it brings a whole lot of things. I think it's a good game. Mutimbi, but Mama Lodi Sandals and so about team on so etimi abom home. They were a known club back in like 2015 Hawko. No be any Mama Lodi Sandals, but they were able to put in good performance, put in good money, and now they've been able to get to where they are. So I think final they are quite be so no be lose be win. So by Egyptian clubs in home. So I think next season they will perform so well and make sure say they'll make sure say against the Egyptian clubs, you know, they'll put up good performance. But MYBET Pyramids for Abaso, they've been able to do well and also make other teams they are coming in field. Say the African Champions League, no, obo humodi now to nyama year. Unsu betimi remetimi abo humodi etimi agi that maiden competition a betimi abo in going forward, especially in FIFA Club World Cup. As your man dream say. Ombebon as a tournament, no, any umbetimi nya ho kwan etimi ewem enso akwa akobom modern against one of the best teams in Europe.
Right. Andra saying a resource in the Ghana League no. Dream self to Accra Lions so likely say Accra Lions co-relegation. Kotokoshe 3-2. Ghost Stars share Bibiani Ghost Brekum Chelsea 3-2. Hearts of Lions share 2-1 became 2-1. And Holy Stars any Nations FC hona sam no. Holy Stars near first penalty, second penalty na Nations for so mobile. Karela share Young Apostles 3-0. Has share Legon Cities and Vision was awarded 3 points because of a year in Swatrama and Samates and Adriana Stars 2-1. Yen share a year game and I think you were 30 minutes so.
Yes, I think senior league in the air corner. League ne kon the kwan bia so between nations, so game no meaning the information about if it to be played again between nations be any Gold Stars and also Kotoko. These three teams na quite be so no. If we are going into the last game no move back betimi then Age League no. But I think our league every season this thing has become so consistent to the extent call league we are getting we abandoned, we are getting games they are too in quote, I say, yebebo ball no be nim score line in points and yebebo game no, which I think the FA needs to set up. Last season you something similar. This season in so season you know, we are seeing things like that happening again. I think it's so bad and it's so poor, especially for our league. Say open sponsorships, open TV rights, open be or this kababe shemu amanya metimi akoya. These are things that shouldn't be happening. You at the start of the season, I cry lion for complaining about game or mobile. Omo bobo ne come final third no so am koshe go penny age offside and na meno so no omo jai game ne bo and this has been something similar omni Holy Stars. So Holy Stars our league being their first time getting into the league, otimi what that courage to be able to push other teams and make them feel say how about kwan bia so say shewa ade ba ko anu ye din. Indra, there was some information on Twitter meaning say virus the better so amamia before the BBN Gold Stars any Brekum Chelsea game no guy be a friend William in cancer ebe tweet 2 hours before the game say the game no BBN Gold Stars be 2 aim
obesha 3
brekum Chelsea be 2 na Bibiani Gold Stars ashe 3 na Bibiani Gold Stars player ba ko be 2 goals na list obi o hwe picture it mu say we your friend is saying on the top no and the results of the game and pam brekum Chelsea player ba ko 2 goals and the game ended in a 3-2 and it's something I don't think say maybe or that sorry no so that no hu sa de no ana or hona ebia we vision bi chire no de hu say bibi say betimi esi adenti say the player to me 2 goals no on the leading goal king no so the likelihood say onu betimi a 2 goals etimi agi ni goal king ni de obehye then the result ni baby e be ko bia no ebia emfa team no and there's something at the FA the sports ministry ankasa in Ghana so mutimi bo rasa ade because e ba Ghana football as a whole no and Ghana sports as a whole no and identity and image because yemfa say this information and this message is on social media. There are other football blogs outside the world that umbehu sa ade we they will get this information, they will be able to see this thing ne ochina say who ton player bi if we league we akwa bi ochira on few because the player numbers onya and fix no dinya those numbers into on be fast player and nko so it's something that the FA needs to set up unless maybe they are okay with Inyama Ekoso. If they are not okay with Inyama Ekoso, we heard rumors say next season maybe Super Sports will come in and broadcast the league. It's a Super Sports broadcasting league now. This information, this bad PR ever call outside to the world. It's very poor. You bought Abuche League. You the last Premier League games, Newcastle against Everton. Now, quite bias Everton or this are 3 points near day. On fine, the likes of your friend is saying, Man United, Aston Villa. Man United don't for 3 points near she. But they went in and fought for their badge, for their club, for the experience of the league. Emma Everton ko share Newcastle. In kase be can say emphasis kasem ni bibia in can Newcastle beat me to yan ama Everton say ma men show na menko Man United ni Aston Villa amana Man United player wa Aston Villa sa Aston Villa qualify Champions League obetimi enye sika etimi di bi etua sika no Rashford but ekosi saying oyire ne ho share no. That is what brings the excitement of football. That is what makes the football obi a person ohwe ne ekonenim but say bobo na enei team no energy so ma me player and 2 goals na fa ho hye me na kwa emma that sponsorship deal emma the excitement number into FA no this match is also in match week 33 no their matches be where so mutimi hwe etimi remu etimi match teams ne be feel say yes this result no ye njintum and some of behaviors are clubs be so adane di no ye be punish you because this season ende ne ankosi hwe next season on beto aso do final days teams ni be on far results na nyahwe obeton agiska teams ni be o feel say obi obetimi akwakotwa ewo betting platform bi agi ni sika akọ no obeji obakotwa agi ni sika akọ so the FA needs to be a bit serious about the league because is the way a friend is saying is their baby and they say FA ni person timi nya sponsorship deals so to be timi nya sika eba league no maybe mpo ekoso the divisions ne so is the Ghana Premier League. In terms of more, they make sure so much nyama ye because the way nyama ko even game week 33 in the game week 34 ne die ya nya lucky fixed matches e be nya no e be buru adwene ntia so because now the league race no aba be kete it's just few point 1-2 points between the teams on betimi age league no into any match fixing no man bomb homodi and form ne sifema even as at today from today to tomorrow person me who say FA new release statement on this game on this Holy Stars for Nyama course and also this Brekum Chelsea any Bibiani Gold Stars match and also course no and make sure say the Ghanaian people or more share games no they will feel comfortable watching the games. O share comment section under poster yeah we are. It's not surprising to everybody. Obia say oh minim say betimi esi oh minim say betimi esi last season e course so like to the extent that people are even pushing say massa wow the last game no benya match say in my hu ne nya enkotwa. And it's very poor for a league like Ghana Premier League. In the 2000s, we were dominating Africa. na eba CAF Champions League, eba CAF Confederation Cups, were dominating and winning. Upe club Africa, obetimi aboni din say bia ye ne the Real Madrid mu ye bebo has ne kotoko din. And these are clubs, they are nowhere to be found. And they slot in the CAF Champions League about to 1. Ye slot in the Confederation Cup about down to 1. First, we were dominating this tournament. We here the likes of Kotoko, the likes of Haas, to be able to make the tournament perform so well. You the likes are these two teams were able to get into the final and make that maiden competition very successful. And now our clubs are not even getting there. It was recent dreams. Mutimiti Ghana and Kakra going into the competition and performing so well. We are not getting our teams going there based on say the corruption any match fixing ni nyama ba ku mienu bi aboa men league ni nya the exposure no inti players na ball league no omu to kwan kwa abuchira omu ntimi mbo ball no because hano they are getting the chance ebe ukona ko she goals na faji udin inti okọ baby a eso otimi ball ho modern she sa goals no ntimi na o makwa na o masamba inti yem tutu yen league ni ye na mboa players they are upcoming quality players in the league omu here this exposure to be able to get out there. Inti ene se antutu ye nyama ye kotia ye nkola na ye bom homodin so person mutimi ko etimi bobo ni ye no mutimi ndo because ye bebo bedu baby no ye bebo odin bobo wo free Ghana Premier League wo she 20 goals ye engine di se wo kwa na otimi share sa goals no ko he bia match fixing bi na ma wo nya those goals no e bia na akola na bon homodin inti ene the FA needs to sit up my who this last days now for the match fixing I say me here point into kwan bia so no away team no about made in nya I say me bibi man ho kire no na metimi nya ene nso atwe my point or mu change na based on something similar ekosisa into ene F in intimi form 9 CFM no mu tutu nya my na league ni koneni I think say Ghana league ni koneni ma we'll get even we friends and sports shows outside the country they would like to come into the league and talk about the league because the league is giving experienced players. The leagues are doing so well and I'm soon so I think match week 33 in the disappointing results for some of the teams and also the news going around is something is very disappointing. So
I'm sure honum kakra because you say more time was
okay.
Dr. Kwame Chase will no no say or then who be share
league
and it's very rich man now they are contemplating some be pull it out. I don't know say if a threat say and until my man win the league now say they I don't know
Listo any threat you know who the way football business enya de ketwa the money that goes into football especially in a league sponsorship deals enya yedin football investing in football at the back wedding even in Europe you who time at Chelsea call transfer Chelsea nya band there ye Freezy Abramovich mu they were finding it difficult to get things done honam be who say they spend almost getting to $1 million on even trying to coordinate and go for a league game and then Ghana is something similar obi investing in sika of football mubia is looking at and yes any don't know what football ne pay but obi investing in sika e business be mu hwe say onu so betimi repeat BBA film inti enei ubeto team ubetua players ubetua coaching staffs ube make sure say other staffs are yemfa enimpo huom they are being paid well they are being doing their work well nyama betimi akoyi na ene ubekwa akobo ball then in the 90 minutes no e be a referee or an opponent or a home team would decide what will happen into preparation out here from Monday down to that league day no akogu kwa because of obi here point in their ABB and obi here that particular win in their akoso ni BB sunti no ni ya be frustrate you. So if a businessman a well rich man is trying to pull himself out of the league so the FA needs to set up. Who times Accra Lions were looking at pulling themselves out because of Felice or away games is so it's something the league they need to up their game. Make sure say teams and just say I'm protecting the traditional teams they has no kotokomo derby, but let's make the league perform so well. Share other leagues so some of the teams Tottenham Man United man that 17 16th eka relegation teams now perform yanka they will go on relegation and your honor league ni be na adwin so ko protect you went man born humodin ya obeko and that is what we some seasons back you the likes of big teams ni be an komuko relegations they got protection to be able to be in the league intina na so training who fi league ni menye mo because untimi prepare into our players enye bibia possible say players ne nkonko win match a difference wakọ na coach ne tactics anfa performance anko yi no makwa ko lose game no benei team ne be call into that final akwa that game na afedi ya chichire ne nsa ni age point na mobi ade ba ko yi and other fixtures na call so the likes of Kotoko Dreams FC, yes, they deserved we more than Dreams to me winning Kotoko. See that league title in TNA, they were able to win a Abetamwa 8 hat-trick or Eboa Kotoko. Inti Osha, some of the teams 8 crucial. House of Folk 2-0 win against Legon City. I think it was an expected way result and Legon Cities or more pre Quambia so number relegation. Because point no more any Accra Lions or Munsuko any a friend is saying Holy Stars
to be a miracle because Karela
yes,
draw.
Yes. Karela nya draw we a friend saying Brekum Chelsea on nya draw ko no so ko. Then the Baby Gina Young Apostles any your friend is saying Holy Stars game on bebo. So mutumi lose dia meaning say your friend is saying House of Lions the Legon Cities any Accra Lions team you meet Mount Brekum Chelsea beko Mediama on the last game Mediama so baby or dano ono nso o renew e ho ano beda na menhwe Legon Cities nso beko Dreams ono nso ni Dreams bebo Dreams nso position or dano o safer side I think ombe here those two wins ni year to make sure so mbeti me I will Holy Stars ono nso betu kwan obeko Eduana oni Eduana beko akobo Eduana nso position or dano eno nso o a safe kakra na Young Apostles nso beko Bechem United enso ni omakwa akobo nti I say omo battle relegation no omo fixtures no mbebo ni na anya against the top sides against mid table sides any those fixtures ni so yie papa because no na one yellow kia obetime nya match fixing kakra bi wo ho nti say o many those fixtures ni so na enyi my enye ma league ni mba mbe say ye be ko na wie ya omo hia point omo hia goals omo hia we ni ebo omo nya because eno na ma league no the excitement again in India person or the TV to channel be a league nation no e be yi so do ne fio mu ene I don't think say ukokrum na obisa nkofo bebre league no when that first impo bebre betimi abo because we've made that excitement in the league ne ko nti na SF ni timi tutu omunyama yi na ebia senya boss no say bia senya we be event saying Nations FC owner person otwe ne ho free league na ma no so nti ebia ombe manage league ne da bi yenye ne sa ball ne ball nti no bia wo 34 matches say so omobo performance ko ni na wo na league ne fata wa ne e de amawo nti sa na ese ekono ma ebi obi enfante bia ne comment on something is okay enye hwe ye ma ne nkosa esa na other teams no omunso di omaho odin ball no omunso enya da ahoodin ne mfa mbobium league ne di obi aye ne ho bo yembo ehumodin se FA ni betimi dia ehu ahyemu yi referees any match officials omunso call on the day match centers no omunso mbom humodin so omunso betimi abo ma game na fair free and fair send you obi betimi abo humodin onunso betimi ewini no betimi anya de so onya free game no
right yes na me de kakra me ka ade afa nations for mo we ni so mo kope bebi na omune case Nations FC see we as mo the oh we of one sir no I dey wa hwe de Nations FC money case money case mon kope bebi na mo be free league na mo free obi ampa macho obi asoma mo
Balisto said the Holy Stars for them so yeah ni nye
omo ye de
na penalty
ade a Nations for na so be den
be okay
look at Kotoko Gold Stars Kotoko per league aje can you imagine say the clean goal na Samson Eduku no kura so Kotoko for per apamu no imagine say sa go ni aje ya aka ni go no e ma Kotoko aje league but referee say play offside ana Kotoko de aja omo be show because omo nim say omo so be to omo na so say ya omo so be ye obi bi Nations for omo 11 wonders omo bo 11 wonders captain ye fe no Sims ko aye komu kuno e wo abrankese omo bu no komu kuno onim kwa Nations for fast qualify no omo wo yeah Johnson Smith fee kotoko no oko nations ena na nations for no nyeda nhyada anyada no ana mokofa amisa ena Johnson Smith ye den eko sky oko sky no na that time nations ye from be kwa youth academy BYC say BYC ena amisa ekura we no ena Johnson Smith ko fa sky SC was qualifying that season. That sky na qualify. They were topping the group. 1 hour to a game. Yehwehwe coach ayi hu no Johnson Smith wa yera. Yehwehwe na ye de ye hu no. Okosie mu 5 good days. Or returning on catch him so or resigning na Oko Nations. Oko Nations. And Oko catch nations for say Okofo o mas sambo ebidin. Tim kochi protest. Say mimi ebia mimi fia ko different podcast. Mimi ko ye na makwa catch a new podcast na me ko say munko hwa ase ebia we mo illegal connection na so mo ye we. Ni aba be chi we mu na ye say me yen ya fa ho. Say yen de na yiti. That was what they did. Highly unprofessional because when you sign contract your secrecy confidentiality adia uhu ibia na wose we den e wose we din wose wo ba ye ade bia wo hu bia no e wose ka dwumanim ti ba bia ye adwuma se ye mpanifo na se ye kase ye be expose ye mpanifo na ye mpanifo se omo expose ye ya akamanfo benya ye pa but because of say wo be meaninti menyama bia eye den enko ye ni ade no wo na ode wani hu me so me de mani hu wo de it you keep it between us. So you quite a separate way, sir. You keep that secret forever and ever. That is why you diaba ukobe bia or employment contract. Eshemu say untimi ko discuss it. Adwumani mu asem abontene. Even if ofie adwumani mu you cannot go and discuss it. Yeah. But nations for ehun say omuni option bia omuni we bia omuni say Ghana ha club bia aye change of wenti no ena omo kopu coach omo jan kwan man ko mo pam no ena omo discuss ko dada no na Johnson Smith returning oba ya no bechuki sky for no oba ya no bechuki sky for no ena musu munim se mafia ena meka no league no omo bo no se koto ya cheche koto na edi egu ayimu that same eno bia keka no yonko mo keka mo ho last man standing no ye the league na ma no ye the league table na ye den ama no league trophy na ye den ama no mo keka mo ho wa wo be wuntem no na wa ko relegation keka wa vi wa ye be kaw kese no na ko relegation. That is the point.
And now wa mu nyedu no ni epia ukọ
exactly. Look at Car Lions model o mu use ye the referee be yaw hard one ebe yonwa wafa omo anu mu kura correct model ni nyina they are all going down omo nyina go down liberty professionals tama youth they are making sure say yeah the system na den akrepo omo nyina they are good because Car Lions you cannot continue competing in a league traveling across all the country and at the end of the season now then sapan who does that but who go second division na second division and mo bo won kran ya. You have opportunity to buy young players.
No, more modern is more of like grooming boys. And in the second division, you do it there. Now, right to dream. Second division, no more. Second division, no more. Mu grooming oma. Into Akala, they should go there. So much fast. They should go down. Talent in the will be. Say no. I was 70 age in so. Ebi as a first in 10 years mo famra 7-8 say na be am wait ma chere nkran because they say course we no enya papa bi abiem nti say one chi akran na ntem one chere basics na wo mani drew 16 there about na eya na ni we na heading yeah to omonti we because man say right to dream say so matter so mo dey about 10 years 8 years now no ya say boy ya oba be boy o me hu na di o me hu no papa ni nim nyansa me say ade a de adwene ye bia nipa kokko
obroni kokko tuntum tumi ne mfa ne ho toto no da so opese odo ho toto na jai eye nantwibi na wodi no na also ko space wo bi ebra ko space wo bi bra ko space wo ba ye no be dis ankomo no oba ya no hwe ye system na ozi nkofo we corrupt people obe invest say opese obo league na obe two sikagu etima me nkosi academy na me make sure say any me compete in second division na me top players Aka Lions mu owner no oye big German man
yeah
obetimi apɛ Germany third division na right to dream model na bi ogumi o ma na de o ma fa hokɔ no wa ma ko boa because whole competition was soro wa ko boa na wa start distribute o na wo ton you get a yes guy we dey up and then na mama basa left back here ko your boy dream self dey no to me boy on the na ba on to me amo ba won se mo de no mo grooming ye no on se okoy wa kam mo players o mo ko bi o mo kokam anso we mu die o mo ko no masa ba metima catch on dream self players o ma ton o masa ba enya sem getwa ebi kura ni team bi but o mo 23 24 years o masa brutal eya lo near the national team e bedu mo profile ni ade esi dem a play on over Barcelona o tumi ball bi left back even at some point Barcelona fans were pushing say omra made them be deputize body ye kwa na 20 yan frɛ no Blasters players akobo yan frɛ no ba na ya frɛ de ono no te bench no na ya frɛ de ono no ye den te bench no enti nations for no amunko pe ba bi ntina mun konkoda zai aze ba bi hu mobo mo na mo se mo de mo na mo se mo bi ma mo pa mo bag na mo nko obie ni obepa mo cho ye ka kire mo se football ni nko yie no na mo mu bi mo sore akwa ba ko bi wo ne hu nyenye nyan no kan kwase asem o ti papa na station o no kan kwase asem ene kan fe o ne de ana I've regretted unya regretted football be sound sika nyina na Africa na be sound sika nyina be shock o say NDC so na ma no fake for no wo ye money laundry ya lo alobi o ma hwe onyama o be freeze account waso be ye shi brutal edi ball no aye entam say wo si wujai no ene ejai because ball no hwinim wo place here wo yi why na obetimi so also turn it na ko Europe akwa ko pesca obi eni wa betimi turn it akwa Europe akwa ko pesca obi eni ho no kre na me ka kire mo no mo player na obo we no maka che onya de mudamu defender na onya de Blasters mo ne mo 2 million times me se onya de ho chale ne de ene matches se de ni won ti bank run na mo ye de mo twa bisa me din di Listowel